Yeah, I'm finding out about as fast as you guys are, so it's pretty. Mental agility is definitely the definition of 2020, which we talked to our team about early in the season. So it's one of those deals that you find out you have a plan for plan A and you have a plan for plan B, and we had obviously been working that way all year. Kind of saying that if a game got canceled, what we would do and having a plan for it. And then as we found out yesterday and the day before that Missouri was having complications, we've got a plan to continue to work on us, and we've got plenty to work on. And good thing is we get to do some things against each other and compete. And it's always better when you get to do that rather than having to work on an opponent all week. And we were, for the most part, almost through with the entire game plan on Missouri. So puts us a little ahead in regards of if we get to play them, at the end of the year. But again, I know that the SEC is evaluating when the game will be rescheduled, and that's kind of out of our hands. So,
first up, we have Anthony Dasher of GeorgiaSports.com.
Good morning, Coach. I know this is probably a knock-on-wood type question or statement, I guess, for you, but the fact you guys, at least so far it seems, have been able to kind of avoid all this, and I know a lot of credit goes to Ron Corson, but just is it one of those things where, just amazed that you guys haven't been affected as much as other teams have been?
Yeah, we've been fortunate. I think Ron had a good plan, and I can't say that other folks haven't had a good plan. It's a lot of it is, I think it's out of your control, other than education and precaution. But I go back to, again, it's not a crazy amount. It's contact tracing and being safe that is really knocking the games out. It's not just the COVID positives. It seems to me that those are not high in number, but they're higher than they were the last 4 to 5 weeks.
Thanks.
Next is Mike Griffith of the AJC.
Coach, I know you don't spend a lot of time looking back or feeling sorry for yourself, but how bad did Georgia need this game? You mentioned the energy at practice. I mean, can you just talk a little bit about where your team's at and how bad you guys need to get on the field?
Yeah, I think you always, anytime you get beat or lose a game, you look forward to the next opportunity. And that's obviously the case we were in, where we were looking, forward to the next opportunity, but that's not presented itself. So the opportunity for us is to get better. And that's what we're going to challenge ourselves to do today. We got, a lot of young guys on our roster that didn't get spring practice, that didn't get fall camp even. And those guys get an opportunity to get better. We're still relatively, which most people are nowadays, a young team. So we get an opportunity to grow, develop, get better, and work against each other and have some competitive periods. So I always say iron sharpens iron, and we've got to do that.
Next is Gene Fredette of the Florida Times Union.
Hey, Coach, could you just talk about where you see freshman quarterback Carson Beck right now? Obviously, people wonder why he's not been really kind of in the mix, or doesn't appear to be in the mix for consideration for playing time. So could you evaluate where he is and why he hasn't quite been able to get to that level to be considered for playing time?
Well, I would disagree with that, because I think he has been considered. He has not gotten a ton of reps since the season started. It's hard to prepare a number of quarterbacks, and you have to prepare the guys that you have an opportunity to. And we thought he got a lot more reps in fall camp, and we think he's going to be a really good player. But I think if you look across the country, it's hard to prepare more than 2 people for a week of a game. It's easy to rep a lot of guys in off weeks. It's easy to rep a lot of guys in camp, but we have had a lot of guys to rep, and he got a lot of work early in camp, and will continue to get a lot of work throughout this week and the coming weeks.
As a follow-up, you're generally saying that for what he's been given, you're happy with the progress that he's made?
No, I think you're saying that. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is,
you tell me.
Right. Well, again, I think he's growing, getting better, which is what we challenge every player to do in our program. You want to get better. We've got a lot of freshmen on our team that maybe haven't gotten the opportunity to play, and you're only allowed to put 11 out there last time I checked. So we try to put the ones out there that give us the best opportunity to win. But what we think we do better is we really plot and plan how we develop a guy and how he gets reps and how he gets work to grow as a player. You know, Carson's been in every single quarterback meeting. He's been in every single walkthrough. He's gotten a lot of opportunities in scrimmages and things that we weren't able to give Stetson because Stetson had the experience of playing. So it's one of those things that with every opportunity we get to go practice, I think he'll get better.
Thanks.
Next is Mark Weiser of the Athens Banner-Herald.
Kirby, were you all in staff meetings this morning when you got official word that the game was off, and did you group text all the players so they knew what was going on?
I'd rather not comment on that. I mean, we've been working on Missouri all morning, so we moved on and get ready to practice.
And as it relates to the days ahead, preparations, is part of what you're going to do is to prepare for Mississippi State, or is that uncertainty with since they're dealing with their COVID situation?
Yeah, I don't know anything about Mississippi State's situation in terms of what we'll do. That's a decision the SEC office will make. For us, we're going to treat it like we're getting better. You know what I mean? We got a lot of things to work on. We're going to work on those things today, and tomorrow we'll be looking at future opponents, which would include Mississippi State.
Thanks.
Next is Bob Holt, the Arkansas Democrat-Gazette.
Hey, Kirby, how you doing?
Good, Bob.
Obviously, it's human nature to focus on the cancellations, but I think the SEC, I'm not real good at math, but I think they've gotten in 44 games, something like 80-some% of the scheduled games. Given everything, I mean, do you feel like, you hate cancellations, but look at all the games that have been played?
Absolutely. You're one of the few people in the country that can see the glass half full. I certainly think that if somebody had told us this in June or July, there probably would have been a little shock to it that the efficiency rate would have been so high. But I'm not going to be quick to judge because I don't know. You don't know where it's headed. I certainly know where we are right now, and I know that the seniors on this team would be, or across the SEC would say, it's been a benefit for them. It's been a benefit for the younger players. In terms of growth and development, I know mental health is much better because these kids have been able to play and be part of something and not have to kind of be in a state of unknown. A lot of these kids, they get a chance to go to college and get a great education because of football, and football's their love and passion. And the fact they've been able to play it, I think it helps them academically because, the less we do football-wise, the harder it is to get guys to buy into academics at times. And when you're playing games and you're able to have a season, it gives the guys a lot more, time management. Their time is so much more structured, and they get to handle it better. So I think it's better for all of us.
Thanks.
Next is Steve Moulton of WGZN.
Hey, Coach, I certainly hope you're well this morning.
Yep, trying to do well.
From your injury standpoint, is this as banged up that you've been around a football team in quite some time, Coach?
I would say of the last 3, obviously just sheer numbers. We keep up with that. Ron keeps up with that in terms of soft tissue injuries, the types of injuries we have. We've actually got less soft tissue than we've ever had, talking about pulls and strains, but we've got more, more what I call substantial injuries in terms of time loss than we've had. I don't know compared to the first year because I didn't feel like we had the same depth maybe the first year. So the first year we had some tough ones, but we've had quite a few this year.
And since you are now have a bye week, having played Arkansas in week 1 and Florida last week, they're playing this weekend. What do you think of that matchup?
Should be. Coach Pittman's got those guys buying in and playing at a really high level. I know Barry Odom, historically, while he was at Missouri, always did a really good job preparing for Florida, and they're playing really good defense right now in Arkansas in terms of forcing turnovers and doing things. So, but Florida's obviously got a really good team, so it'll be a great game.